What comes to mind? Well, it's British. They started in the 1950s. Its founders named Colin Chapman. He was an engineer, building only sports cars and racing cars. And in the early days, you can even buy their cars as kids, just in order to save on purchase tax. Well, still, till this day, they're only building lightweight cars. And they have a tradition to start their model names with an E. So think of the Elan, the Esprit, the Elise, Exige, and the Evora. Speaking of which, they now improved the Evora. This is the Evora Gt410. The Evora has been around for a decade now, but this one is faster, sharper, and more appealing than ever.
What about the looks?
Well, I think it's not as funky or froggy looking like the Elise. It looks way more badass, if you ask me. It's quite a racer if you focus on the exterior. Of course, it's sporty, but I think it's their everyday sports car. If you compare it to other models, this GT is way bigger. Of course, you're buying some extra comfort. Still, it's a 2+2. Which basically means you can bring your dogs if you want to. But it's cozy inside. It's like a cozy cave made of Alcantara with some carbon fiber elements. I like the manual with a huge gear knob. You have the bucket seats, Sparko bucket seats, heated though. Yeah, they have placed some unconventionally buttons, like way up in the dashboard, so it kind of reminds you you're not driving a German, it's different. And I like that. I mean, it's comfy, but not too comfortable. It's as much as the label sporty allows you to get comfort. But then again, it's not about being comfortable in a Lotus. You have to perform. So the Evora Gt410 has a limited slip differential, and you have a selectable driver mode, so ESP modes you can play with, from drive, sport to race, Bilstein suspension, tight steering, a 6-speed manual, grippy tires for that extra bit of confidence. It's basically the perfect car to put your driving skills to a test.
Now the main question, how does it perform?
Well, it's sporty stiff, first of all, very light-footed. I feel like the suspension, the brakes, the steering, it all speaks to you, like from the surface, from the road to really into your core. It's a car where you have 100% involvement. That also means that it's noisy. There's quite some road noise, but the engine really makes up for it. The engine noise really comes into the cabin. So yeah, no radio needed. And then that weight, or should I say the lack of weight. It just weighs over 1,300 kilograms, so that really increases the perception of speed. But the numbers aren't bad either, because it has 410 horsepower. It's a 3.5 liter V6. 0 to 100 in just 4.2 seconds. It is pure and it is alive. It's just not as serious, grown up or polished as the other competing sports cars, if you ask me. But that is exactly the charm of a Lotus car.